so you were head chef at the CN Tower for how many years?
6 years.
And they loved you there. I know that for sure from the media that I seen, but also it must have been kind of difficult to leave that job and then start on your own. Like, how did that happen? It's so great that you got to all the experience of pulling all the resources working for such a high-end restaurant.
Sure.
And, you know, an important restaurant and in an important landmark, but you got to, you know, kind of design and be creative with those dishes, but you had to have some sort of like, I don't know if it was hesitancy or cautiousness, like leaving such a prestigious position to go into making dishes for just like regular working people that honestly just need to eat more healthy. Like, was that the concept from the get-go?
It was. And honestly, it was kind of a bittersweet, I guess.
Yeah.
Change, a career change almost, right? It really did. It really did feel like changing professions, even though it's not like it's still cooking. I'm still cooking.
No, you went into entrepreneurship,
but it's
you worked for one of the most important corporations in Canada. You know, being at the CN Tower, into JLB Kitchen, just live better, with such a wonderful partner.
Yes.
And was it her idea or was it your idea? Because she was a nutritionist for how many years? At least a decade.
Yeah.
A nutritionist, a personal trainer.
Yes.
And then you came in as an executive head chef. And then you guys decided, like, what was the spark, Johnny? When did the idea just say, okay, that's it. We're fucking doing this and we're not looking back? Because for that to come together is such a big deal. It's like a pivotal moment in people's lives.
It's true. And you know what? It's a great question because it was something that happened very kind of organically, I would say. You know, like meeting Jenny obviously had such a huge impact on me. You know, I fell in love with her madly and deeply.
She's wonderful.
She is.
She's watching.
And that's why we're married today. And you know what? She inspired me. You know, I had already started when I met her. I had just started actually only about 6 months prior to meeting her. I had started doing a little bit of training on my own, like going to a gym. Prior to that, I had no interest in it, you know?
Right.
I shouldn't say I had no interest, but I was intimidated by gyms. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't.
Like a lot of people.
Yeah, I was
scared. So remember that, folks, because we got an executive head chef for a
Yes.
huge corporation.
Yes.
With the type of pressure that you were under in your job.
Yes.
And a little bit weary and maybe, I don't want to say like kind of just spooked about going to a conventional gym atmosphere.
That's right. I could go and walk through the dining room and talk to anybody. And, I'd fed and served meals to some, famous people and powerful people over the years and all this stuff. And I could do that. That was kind of my comfort zone, I suppose. When I put those whites
You could
on,
do that like blindfolded, but walking into a
gym, I was petrified to do it. I felt like a fish out of water. I look at those machines and I think I'm going to use it wrong. I look like an idiot.
That is amazing.
So I kind of avoided it, right? And also too, I think being a chef, the industry, I think it's no secret that it demands a lot of hours and a lot of time out of you. So I didn't really have a lot of free time to do that anyways, to look after myself, right? I didn't prioritize it either. So I had gotten myself, when I met Jenny, I had gotten myself to a position where I think I weighed like 305 pounds. Like I'm 6'2", so
305 pounds.
Yeah, so I had a bit of extra weight on. Like now I'm sitting here, 230 pounds.
So that is unbelievable. 70 plus pounds.
Yeah.
So from, this is what the story just takes so many twists and turns. You're an executive chef. You meet a wonderful, beautiful, personal friend of mine, nutritionist / personal trainer.
Yeah.
And you're like at max weight.
Yes.
And
stress levels.
And stress levels. Stuff. She's at max fitness.
Yeah.
Right. But, you guys have that great connection.
Yes.
And then what happened? You just started saying, okay, I'm going to adopt her lifestyle? Or was she kind of saying,
at first,
buddy, to be with me, you kind of got to get your shit together?
No, you know what? That's funny. You know what? You would think so, right? But not at all. Like she didn't put any of that onto me at all.
Right,
she wanted to work out with me just because I think for her that would be a bonding thing.
Well, couples,
this would be fun.
Let's sense.
Come to my gym, check it out. Let's work out.
And such a great atmosphere.
Yeah, and so like I was doing a personal training with someone else in Markham at the time when I was living in Markham at the time, And she convinced me, no, ditch that trainer and I'll come and train you once a week.
Right.
I'll come and meet you. So early on that started, and that was awesome. It was our fun, it was our Tuesday night thing.
Cool.
We worked out. So she had a busy schedule and so did I, but that's where we could meet up. But anyways, I was the one who kind of said to her at one point, I think maybe 6 months into our dating, I said, Jenny, what, just out of curiosity, what would you, as a nutritionist, what would you say I have to eat, in a day? Because
Right.
as much as everyone thinks chefs know everything about food, this is one area where obviously I didn't have it under control. I wasn't doing it right. I was way overweight, So,
Yes.
And she said, well, I can definitely help you with that. She kind of really jumped into it right away. She didn't waste any time. I think she started working
she's that
on,
kind of person.
I think she started working on a meal plan for me right then and there.
Right then
on
and
the
there.
spot.
She might have been working on that meal plan before you even asked her, bro.
No.
Like,
You
let's
never
get
know.
real.
You never know.
She was probably thinking about it.
It's possible. It's possible. She was like, he's going to
so
ask me.
funny.
And if he doesn't, I'm going to maybe just, who knows?
Yeah.
But, so she did give me that. And you know what? It was very simple, and I was still working at the CN Tower at the time. So,
Right.
Still having that busy lifestyle, fast paced, high pressure job.
Yeah.
But made it happen, so there's no excuses. There's no excuses.
70 plus pounds from a high pressure executive chef job, dating a nutritionist. She gets on board, helping you get to maybe a more optimal health situation, and you follow suit. So I'm kind of seeing, so the food started being part of your relationship, pretty early on. She brought such a bank of knowledge when it came to the healthiest food that the body can absorb.
Yes.
And you brought such a understanding of flavors and dishes, and probably not just national but international.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Concoctions that
all
you
the
put
different
together.
flavors,
all the different things.
I
put
like
together.
I like to think of the spices and the flavors are like colors.
That's right.
You're a painter. Why would you only want to use these 5 colors?
Yes.
Use it all.
So now I'm getting a little bit of a better perspective of how the JLB Kitchen kind of came together.
Yes.
It was almost in motion before maybe that final spark of an idea. It was kind of like a destiny. It was inevitable.
Yeah,
that something was going to happen here.
That's what I mean when I say organically. It just kind of happened,
Right.
And then we start talking. So, within 3-4 months, I had dropped most of the weight already. And I felt like I was eating more food, and I was going, wow.
Well, yeah,
Jenny, what is this? Wizardry. What is this magic here? What is going on? How is it that I feel like I'm eating more than I ever did, and the weight's just falling off? And she's like, well, it's about the combination of those macronutrients.
Well, that's
your body's
fascinating.
getting what it wants.
That is unbelievable. I
wants.
gotta comment on that. I know we definitely have time.
Yes.
I gotta comment on that because I think that, and I'm not 100% sure, but JLB Kitchen out of Oshawa, such a great startup business from what I see.
Thank you.
As a businessman, looking at it from the outside in, I just say to myself, you have all the right components to reach and help as many people as possible.
Yes.
But I actually didn't know that you had lost that much weight before your business even started. So you probably are one of the only owners of this type of business that lost 70 pounds. I'm not saying I know for sure, but what are the odds of all the other owners of these different
in a way,
prep meal businesses?
I don't know either.
That have actually gone through the ringer. That's
a good question.
That's one of the reasons why I get behind it so much, because I'm like, okay, well, she's an excellent A+ nutritionist / personal trainer, and you've been a top executive chef for so many years at big reputable companies, and they miss you dearly. Mm-hmm. That combination, I mean, how can it possibly not be the best and healthiest food that people could possibly get their hands on? And it's here at our doorstep.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, Durham region. We serve all of Durham.
Which is amazing.
Deliver all the way into Toronto, all the way out to Port Hope, where we're sitting here today, and all points in between.
Yeah. So what like just to get into the technicalities, what separates the JLB Kitchen dishes from the pack, do you think? If there's something that, you know, you could kind of like summarize that you could point out for the people at home.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know all the ins and outs about all the other companies, but there are many.
There's many. Many
I feel almost like they're, every time I wake up in the morning, have my coffee and flip through social media for a minute there, I feel like I'm seeing a new one pop up every day. There's a new company. There's this one now. And I think that's great, you know, because I think competition makes us all better.
It does, but you guys continue to have growth even while you see all these other companies pop up, which obviously have their own, you know, pros and cons about them as well.
I think everyone's trying to find their niche, you know, like everyone's got their different angles and stuff like that. But one thing I would say, I did do a bit of, you know, of course, some market research, you know, before we started up. We tried a lot of different meal preps that are out there and stuff, just to see what's out there. What is the standard? What is the current standard? What are people, you know, some like very successful businesses, what are they serving people that, you know, what do people want and that kind of thing. So you do a bit of that. I think it's a natural thing that you
R&D, you know, you got it.
Yes. So, you know, doing that, I would have to say, we were very encouraged that there was a niche that wasn't being filled.
Got it.
You know, and that is basically people like us who, you know, have discerning taste about the food. Like we really care about the flavor, not just achieving the goals. I mean, that's important. As you know, like I'm essentially our first client. I lost 70 pounds. I changed my whole lifestyle. I feel amazing. I feel better at 49 than I did at 39. You know,
that's an unbelievable accomplishment.
I do. So I believe in it so much that I, you know, changed career path and invested into this business with my wife and, you know, really got this thing going because that's how much we believe in it. And we believe that the niche wasn't being filled where there's that real attention to detail on the flavor. I think there's a lot of decent stuff out there.
Yeah.
A lot of medium good, I'd call it, you know, but there was none that really we said, wow, this is going to be tough to beat.
Right.
There were none. Actually, I hate to say it, and that's not coming from a place of overconfidence or cockiness or nothing like that. Because I think,
well, why not play to win?
We were happy and encouraged to see that because in a way we thought, okay, good, because I've got this background where I can bring the flavors, and Jenny's got the health side of it covered, and the macros, everything's balanced.
Right.
So we can go toe to toe with anyone. That's what I felt.
That's what I'm saying about like what you guys have to bring to the table as individuals.
Absolutely.
And then bring that to a business.
Yes.
I mean, you know, the components are all lining up. The stars are lining up,
totally,
for lack of better terms. But I've heard you say before when I've asked you about the meals, because I am a customer, I have been for a long time.
Yes. And we appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's like, I have certain dietary restrictions. Like I have, you know, like everybody else these days, I got the IBS, I got the inflammation, and your dishes are, you know, food that I know that I can turn to that isn't going to have all those extra additive ingredients that are not good for, you know, the body at all.
Yes.
You know,
well, you know,
the mind as well, right? The mind,
all health,
all health and wellness
by your food,
by what we're eating,
mental, physical, all health.
That's right.
Yes.
And I've heard you say before, like, oh, and I could just throw some fucking cheese and salt on there, and just, you know, be like everybody else, and, you know, but we have to deliver the best possible product. So we're talking no dairy in any of the dishes, no gluten in any of the dishes, you know.
No, and you know, if I can comment on that, like that was not the intention starting out either.
Right.
It just even that came kind of organically. You know, we did have one or two dishes at the start that had one of them I think had a little feta cheese, and one of them had some barley risotto or something which contains gluten, and we just kind of looked at it and said, you know what, like, let's make these meals like totally accessible to everyone, and let's get rid of all the things that could be potentially inflammatory for people's bodies. Let's just give everyone's body a break. When they're eating these meals, they know they're going to feel nothing but good after. There'll be no sluggishness, tiredness.
That is a true thing.
None of that.
Yeah, that's one of the things
Clean
that
fuel.
I knew separated these meals was I never felt bad afterwards.
Yeah.
And I feel bad almost after everything I eat. I ate out a lot.
Yes.
You know, I'll tell you, I'm lucky because I didn't have to lose 50, 70 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I feel like I should have had to be in that position with the amount of crap that I've eaten over the years.
Yeah.
And, you know, to stumble, well, not stumble on, I've seen the growth, but to be able to have access to these kinds of meals when you just aren't the type that are going to cook. I have such a busy career.
Yes.
You know, it's like I need something that's healthy and supports my immune system, supports my anti-inflammation you know, process.
Yes.
And these are meals that I can turn to on the fly and at a reasonable cost.
That's right. 100%. I mean, the fact that you hit the nail on the head there, I mean, everyone's busy these days. I feel like, you know, everyone's got, you know, some people have a couple of jobs going on, you know, you might have kids, you might have other pressures outside of work, a lot of activities that people are doing, trying to hit the gym every day, all that stuff. You know, your time is at a premium, and do you want to spend what little free time you have on a Sunday maybe, or Saturday, whatever it is, doing the, you know, fighting through the grocery stores and doing all that shopping, and, you know, how do you choose the best stuff? You know, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah,
where you can get into like navigating, right? Navigating through and finding the things that are actually good for you, not just things that are pretending to be good for you.
Yes.
Which is
well,
a lot of
that's
that
a
kind
huge
of marketing
point.
out there. Yes.
A lot of pretending that it's good for you and not actually good for you.
Exactly.
Right. I love the fact, and you know, listen, I am, I'm like a straight shooter. If I thought there was a problem with the food that you serve, I'm going to tell you.
I know.
I'm not trying to, you know, I would tell you.
And I'd be appreciative. I love feedback, all the feedback we get. Yes.
But you really, like, none of the points that you've made have any sort of fabrication, you know, or superficialness to them.
No.
The fact is that you label them.
Yes.
It's all whole foods.
Yeah.
Right. It's minimal, if any, of the ingredients that, you know, are just, like you said, inflammatory. Because, like, for example, you use no seed oils.
No seed oils.
No seed oils whatsoever.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, how many dishes do you guys offer? 15, 25?
36 different dishes.
36 different dishes on a rotating
Every
basis.
Every week is different.
And no seed oils.
That's right. No seed oils, no dairy, no gluten, no refined sugar, which
is
a big one.
Which is a huge one.
You're going to find out, I think people are going to find out more and more just about the, you know, kind of health.
Bro, refined sugar, I swear to God, it's killing me.
Yeah, the damaging.
It's so
effects.
damaging.
And it's so addictive, right? Like I said to you the one day, I think you were just referring to, is like, yeah, could we take our meals the way they are now? And I think they taste awesome the way they are.
They taste amazing.
But could I take them and make them something that would be even more addictive to people?
Right.
You know? And if I was just greedy to make sales, could I do that? Yes, of course I could.
That's right.
A lot of companies are doing it. And
a lot of companies
are telling you
that.
It's healthy meal prep.
That's right.
But they're putting sugar in there. They're covering everything with cheese. You get that beautiful social media cheese pull happening, and all of a sudden everyone's placing an order, right?
That's right.
So why are we not, right? It's because at the end of the day, we are authentically healthy meal prep. And,
that's right.
And we don't want anyone to feel bad after they eat our meals. And plenty of people who are not themselves sensitive to gluten or dairy are our clients, our regular clients, and have been for the last, you know, year and a half that we've been open. And why? Because it tastes good enough that you don't care. It tastes good enough that you don't miss it. And in fact, they're starting to notice, hey, even though I never had an issue with these things, I feel a little bit better on this fuel. You know, my body likes it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I find that too. You know, that's something that's really helped me and kind of gotten me a little bit of extra motivation to get in the gym, a little more energy and that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, I'll tell you,
things out for a reason.
I have seen it with my own eyes, and there's some people that have had major health complications that you have really helped, my friend. And it's not just for people who are, you know, trying drastically to change their health. Some healthy people could really benefit from this kind of consistent diet, especially if they're a busy business person. Totally. You serve up MMA guys, athletes who just need to have the edge. and they're all like very a big part of your business, big part of your client base.
Yes.
And your kitchen is fantastic. I've seen it myself.
Thank
and
you.
I think people get to stop by and say hi and pick up their dishes on Saturdays, right?
Saturday mornings, that's right, every week, and or we deliver, like I said.
Right.
But it is great when people come by and we can have a little conversation, or
It's
they
great.
or they can come and just check out the kitchen. It's a cool place,
Yeah.
and they could see how we keep it. It's a beautiful, clean.
Right, so you have
I
total
love it.
transparent
I'm a
access.
kitchen geek.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh,
Spent
I've
my
seen your
whole
kitchen.
life in
It's
kitchens,
fantastic.
so
It's like
I.
It's as clean as a whistle. Attention to detail is awesome.
Yes.
But Johnny, we're going to wrap up. I just want to thank you for stopping by, telling me all about your great business. And next time, maybe your lovely wife and partner will pop into and talk a lot about the nutrition and the fitness side of things. And like I said, I think that you two and your business adventure, it's a recipe that cannot fail. So good luck, my friend.
Thank you so much, Owen. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me here today.
Yes, brother.
Awesome. Cheers.